For Monica Cooper, making it on the outside was tougher than she thought it would be.
I cried and I prayed and I cried and I prayed because when you're on the inside, the anxiety about what's waiting for you when you get released is incredible.
After spending more than a decade behind bars, Cooper came out of prison ready to rebuild her life. She finished college, earned a bachelor's degree to make herself marketable, and set out to find employment.
So I thought that I would be rewarded with a decent paying job, and I couldn't find a job at all.
Monica isn't alone. The National Employment Law Project says an estimated 70 million people, or 1 in 3 adults, have a prior arrest or conviction record. And while many exit prison ready to rejoin and contribute to their communities, they're often stopped by one little box. You're probably familiar with it. On an initial job application, many employers ask if applicants have been convicted of a felony. This forces many returning from incarceration to check yes, explain their conviction, or leave it blank. Advocates say that pesky box is leaving thousands of qualified workers on the table. Since 2004, a growing number of states have taken actions to get that box removed. The latest effort is happening in Maryland. Kimberly Haven says she was haunted knowing she'd have to check yes on her application for decades after completing her sentence.
It's demoralizing because you know that an employer is probably going to look at it and go, nope, and throw it away.
She spent years advocating to get rid of that box, first successfully in Baltimore. The first version of the bill was passed in Baltimore City, and several other counties in Maryland then adopted their own version. Now, a statewide bill has made it here to the Capitol in Annapolis for consideration.
You shouldn't have to wear a scarlet letter on your chest for the rest of your life when you've made a mistake and you've paid your debt to society.
Maryland Delegate Nick Mosby is pushing a statewide bill that would get rid of the box on the initial application. An employer can ask about a criminal history in the first interview, but must wait to run a background check until a conditional offer has been made. He says it's just about getting employers to meet these applicants face to face.
They built the relationship, they built the rapport, they know the individual has had the opportunity to sell themselves.
Certain jobs, like ones in law enforcement or ones that would require you to work with minors, are excluded from the bill. Those who support it say it reduces recidivism and hits an untapped skilled resource. Put simply, they say it's a smart economic decision.
We need our roads fixed. We need our schools repaired. We need heat in our schools. We need those things. And you get those things through tax dollars. So why would you have hundreds of thousands of people eligible to work that's not working?
But Kaylee Locklear-Toll, who testified against the bill, says employers have a right to know up front whether the potential employee has a criminal history.
The hiring process is not only costly for an employer, but for an employee too as well. So if an employee does have something on their record, I think they also would like to know up front that there may be certain convictions that would preclude them from being able to be hired.
A 2012 ruling at the Equal Employment Opportunities Commission said employers should only consider convictions directly related to a job and whether the applicant is likely to commit the same crime again. The EEOC made discrimination based on conviction records a violation of federal employment law.
But just because you have these convictions does not mean that you are disqualified from every other job.
Maryland hopes to be the 12th state to pass the law mandating the box removal in both public and private sectors. A federal bill has also been introduced in Congress. Haven says laws like these will make the difference to the thousands returning from incarceration every year.
This is a population that is deserving of a second chance.